Conversation I kind of want to elaborate on. I started it on the gram, and it was basically referring to the problem I see a lot in skaters where to generate pop or force, they utilize the knees. Like they go low by bending the knees and their hips sit right on top of the board instead of their hips hinging back first, the hips being a little bit parallel behind and parallel, which is not behind, but on top, but behind and parallel to the board. And then if they go lower, the knees bent, right? But I see, um, basically, I don't see the initiation for getting lower or generating pop coming from the hips. And that's a problem because the way we um, want to move on the board is through integration. And if you don't start with the hips, you're not including the hamstrings, the glutes, the forefoot, and basically that posterior chain. That, to be honest, I don't know how to explain that well, but I just know because I've felt it. I felt so much pain on my knees um, in the past, and it was because my hips weren't being used. So I was always scared to pop onto things and rely too much on tightening the hips and the core to stabilize instead of hinging the hips so I can stabilize under tension, right? And so, anyways, it's not that the knees shouldn't bend, it's just that it shouldn't only depend on the knees bending for you to generate the pop. And take a bite. I'm kind of rushing it because daylight is going away. Sun's already down. Pretty gloomy. Um, and I just want this video to be like 10 minutes. So, anyways, the conversation's about generating force the most efficient way, right? And it's like this, right? If you try to punch by holding the shoulder, hold the shoulder in and just do that. You're restricting a lot of potential that can be accessed or initiated through the shoulder, right? So instead, allowing the shoulder, which in this case represents the hips, to go a bit back, wind up, so that you can, bam, whip back. You're going to be able to generate more force by using the shoulder, which represents the hip, so that your elbow can extend. So the power can go from the hips, from the shoulder to the elbow to the arm, the fist, just like it would with the hips, from the hips to the knee joint, from the forefoot. That's how you want to generate pop. You don't want it to go from um, the knee to the foot. It needs to come from the hips, which in many ways is the core of your body. If you notice too, you'll be able to get lower comfortably. Yep, using your hips. Like you won't feel like there's so much stress on the ankles and the knees. So intuitively, it just feels better. I don't need to tell you it's better for you. You're gonna, if you try one right after the other, you're gonna realize which one feels better. So we want to move in integration. You need to be a